So today, we're going to be solving for x using factors, but we first have to factorize. We first have to factorize. Can we remind each other and ourselves what are the different ways of factorizing? Let's hear what we have for me today. Different ways of factorizing. If you want to raise your hand, you may. If you just want to type it in the chat, you may go ahead. What are the different ways of factorizing, guys? We don't remember. Ooh, so if you get this question that says solve for x in the test, what is going to happen? Trouble is going to happen. That's what this is supposed to be 0. This is equations and expressions. There we go. Thank you. Bontle has given us the first one, which is difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. Okay, let's hear. They are trinomials. Guys, Bontle is the only one who's coming to class. What's going on? And there's one more that I'm looking for. Just one more. What is my last way of factorizing, guys? Let's hear. Anybody remember? So if you cannot do difference of two squares and it is not a trinomial, how else can I factorize algebraic equations? Common factor. Thank you. Bunke's on fire today. Common factor. Now, for all of you who didn't remember, take a screenshot and drill it in your brain today, all right? Because the thing is, when you're in a test, we don't tell you that you need to do difference of two squares or trinomials or common factors. It's up to you to identify that, okay? So all they're gonna say is the question that I have up for you here. Solve for x. They won't even tell you that you're using factors, okay? I was being nice there. This is being nice. They're just gonna say, solve for x for the following equations. They're gonna say, cool, good luck, bye. It's up to you to remember how to do each of them. So now that Bontle has so nicely reminded us of the methods of factorization, so these are the methods. Tell me for number A, which one do we use? Is it a difference of two squares? Is it a trinomial? Or do we have a common factor? Do you see how I'm guiding you through the lesson? I mean, through the answering? This is how you're supposed to do it in your test. You ask yourself, is this question difference of two squares? Is there a common factor? Is this a trinomial? Then you take it from there. Okay. Why is Buntle the only one sending messages? Come on, guys. There's about 65 of you. Thank you, Tando. I was trying to wonder if everyone else is just like gone. What does everyone else think? Okay. Can't be Buntle and just Tando who's answering in the chat. Let's hear what everybody else has to say. Thanks, Vusi. Vusi already has an answer for us. Let's hear what everyone else has to say. Come on, guys. Mathematics is not a spectator sport, which means you have to actually do it. Okay, you can't just sit and watch the lesson with your popcorn there. Thank you, Akumzi, Anele. Great, more people are waking up. This is wonderful. So it's difference of two squares. Thank you, Amahle. And Akum, no, Vusi. Vusi has helped us establish that our two brackets will be x minus 3 and x plus 3 is equal to 0. Wonderful. We have our factors. What is next? Who knows what's next? After you get your factors, where do we go next with this? There we go. People are awake. We have more people answering. I'm still not satisfied because there's like almost 70 of you guys in here. Come on, guys. What's next after you have your factors? Where do we go from there? Who knows? Who remembers? Previous lesson, you should have done this. Come on now. Removing the brackets. And how do we do that, Amahle? How do we do that? Chantal says FOIL. Chantal, if you FOIL, you will be going right back to the question. I'm glad you said that because a lot of you make that mistake in tests. You factorize and then you multiply. Remember, we need to learn what the different questions are asking us to do. Solve for x means you don't want it to be in factors, all right? You want an answer that says, therefore, x equals something or x equals something, right? Had I said to you, expand, then you can FOIL this. But if you FOIL it, guys, you're going back to the question. You're going to end up with x squared minus 9 equals 0. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. There we go. Ashley is onto something. Okay, so what does this thing mean, guys? We spoke about what equations mean. Equations mean this whole bracket multiplied by this whole bracket will give you 0. The brackets are next to each other, right? That's multiplication. That's what it means. That means either your blue bracket is 0 or your pink bracket is 0. So you have to say either x minus 3 will be equal to 0 or x plus 3 will be equal to 0. And then from then on, you solve them as two different equations. So if x minus 3 equals 0, how much is x? Let me know how much is x. If x minus 3 is equal to 0, x is how much? Farida, let's hear what Farida has to say to us. Yes, Farida. Okay, I saw in the chat, that's correct, guys. If x minus 3 is 0, then x equals 3, because you take this 3 over, it becomes positive. Or x equals negative 3, and this is your solution. So I told you to solve for x. When they say solve for x, guys, you need to end up with an answer that says x is equal to this, or x is equal to that, or x is equal to this. Okay, do we understand what I'm saying? Let me check in with you guys. Thank you, Tando. Thank you very much. Yes, Tsepang, we are solving for x using factors, but we are first factorizing. Novoyo, let's hear what Novoyo has to say. Yes, Novoyo?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I have a question. How did you get negative 3?
This 3 is what when it's on the left? Is it negative or positive? Check there.
Ma'am, it's x is equals to 3 or x is equals to negative 3.
Yes, I'm saying, look where I highlighted yellow. X plus 3. So 3 is positive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When you take it over the equal sign, it becomes
Negative.
You see where I got the negative 3?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, guys. I'm hoping that we are sort of getting somewhere. So you first factorize. So the steps here are you factorize, and then you split them, and then you solve for x. Okay, let's do another example. I think we need to do another difference of 2 squares example. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, if I have x squared minus 16 equals 0. What are my two brackets? So first step, factorize. First step is factorize. So what are my two brackets? If I have x squared minus 16, my two brackets are going to be what and what? Anyone? Check again, we'll see. What happens when you times 8 and 8? How much are you going to get? You're not going to get 16. Thank you, Ty. Kazi, check carefully. Okay, one bracket has to be a positive and one a negative. So this will be x minus 4 and x plus 4 equals 0. So now we have done step 1, which is factorize. Now we have to split them. How do I split them? I either say, so either x minus 4 equals 0 or x plus 4 is equal to 0. So we have split them. We're with me? And then the last step is solve. So what are the two values for x? X is equal to what, or x is equal to what? Let me know. Unfortunately, if I zoom in, there are some things you won't be able to see, my darling. Tell me the two values for x. If x minus 4 equals 0, or x plus 4 equals 0, there you go. Someone has direct messaged me the first one. Here, therefore, x is equal to positive 4, or x is equal to what? X is equal to either positive 4 or what? Thank you, our Kiwi. Negative 4. And Lesedi and Samgelo and Tai. You get it, guys? So that is how we do solving for x using factors. Okay. So let us do B. So first you have to identify, is B difference of two squares? Is it a trinomial, or do I have a common factor? Which way of factorizing are we using for number B? We've done A, we are on B now. Number B, do we have difference of two squares, trinomials, or common factors? Thank you, Farida. We have a trinomial. Who remembers how to factorize a trinomial? Hopefully we've been studying hard and we know all of these methods. So I hope we shall see just now. Let's hear. What are my two brackets? Yes, they are trinomials. What are my two brackets? Tando says. Oh, that was an x squared. Yes, Tando, that was beautifully answered. It's exactly how we want you to answer it. Vusi has my two brackets. How did Vusi get it? Vusi, are you feeling brave enough to unmute and tell me how you got it? So this was A, right? Here's B. Vusi is telling us that our two brackets are x plus 2 and x plus 1 equals 0. Is anyone feeling brave enough to tell us how Vusi got these factors? Anyone? Yes, no, factors of 2. Factors of 2 are not 1 and 1. Be careful. Factors of 2 are 2 and 1. Okay. Are we with me? So the factors of 2 are 2 and 1. And do they add up to 3? Yes, they do, because we're going to say positive 2 plus 1, which is 3. It's okay, Keegan. Welcome. Hopefully you'll be able to catch up, okay? So I've done step 1, which is factorize. What's after factorize? Let me know in the chat. We've done step 1, which is factorize. Which step is after factorize? Let me know. Split. So what does splitting mean? Yes, Tando. We remove the brackets by splitting them. So you're going to say x plus 2 equals 0, or x plus 1 equals 0. And then tell me in the chat, what are my two solutions for x? X equals what, or x equals what? Let's hear. What is x equal to? A, Ashley has our first answer, therefore x equals -2, or Chantal as well, and Farida. What's our second solution? Or x equals our keyword. Thank you. -1. Thank you, Buntle. Thank you, Chantal, and Ashley, and Paul, and Farida. Okay. So we've done, now we're getting used to it. So you factorize, you split, you solve. Okay, let's go to, I want to go to D. Let's talk about D. Is D difference of two squares a trinomial, or is there a common factor? Is D difference of two squares a trinomial, or is there a common factor? Let me do this so that we can separate. Oh, that was terrible. It was going well until it wasn't. Whoop. Here we go. D, not C. There's D over there. Is D a trinomial, difference of two squares, or is there a common factor? Akunzi says difference of two squares. A lot of you said a trinomial. Analysis common factor and Kanyo. Guys, what does a trinomial mean? Who has a definition for trinomial for me? A trinomial is 3 terms. Are there 3 terms? Yeah. No. We have a 2x squared and a 4x. Then it cannot be a trinomial. So we have eliminated trinomials. Some of you say difference of 2 squares. And no, but I said D. You must listen. You must listen. We're doing D. Okay. So let's do D. Now that we've established that it is not a trinomial. Okay, people say difference of 2 squares. Difference of 2 squares means that you need to have 2 squares. Is 2x squared a perfect squared? Is 2x squared a perfect squared? Let's talk about the 2 specifically. Is that a perfect square? Hey, more people are starting to realize. There we go. So it has to be a common factor. So what is my common factor between 2x squared and negative 4x? What am I going to factor out? Bontle says 2. This thing is irritating me. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Bontle changes it. 2x. Oh, I love it. Bontle's thinking. I like the process. Lesedi says 2, Dice says 2x. So remember, common factor means what do they both have? Lesedi says 2x. 2x. Yes, it is indeed 2x. So I factored out my 2x. What is left in my bracket? Excuse me. What's left in my bracket? If I factor out 2x, what is left in my brackets? Bontle says x minus 2. Let's hear what everyone else has to say. Let's hear. Actually, unfortunately, I can't because of people who want to screenshot. Okay, I'll erase them just now, but for now, okay, maybe let me erase this one. If you want to take a screenshot quickly, take a screenshot so I can erase the other sums, please. Take a screenshot, giving you a few seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to erase some of these so that we can have more space. Okay. And I see you guys, you're all agreeing about what is left in the bracket, and I don't know what I pressed. A lot of things going on here. Technology is not our friend, especially not mine. Okay, let's do it over here. So we took out 2x, and you guys are telling me what's left is x minus 2 equals 0. We have factorized. What's after factorize? What's after factorize? Yes, it is. Oh, I see you're going to answer. Never mind. Sorry. What is after factorize? Split. Split. So how do we split it? We have our 2 factors. Our 2 factors are 2x equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. So when you say factors, we mean those 2 things that you multiply. Those are the ones that you are splitting. Okay, so in this case, we didn't have 2 binomials. In A, we had 2 binomials. We had a binomial and a binomial. But now we have a monomial with a binomial there. Do you see that? So then either 2x equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. So if 2x is equal to 0, how much is x? 2 times something is equal to 0. What's that something? X is equal to? Yay, Farida, it's equal to 0. Yes, Tando, ke lebogile. Or what's my second solution? So either x is 0 in this case, or x is how much? Yes, we are getting it. X is 2, because this 2 will go over there. Okay, are we with me so far? We're almost halfway in the lesson. Give me a thumbs up. If you don't understand something, now is the time to raise your hand and ask a question. Let's take questions. Chantal. Chantal?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. You have a question?
Ma'am, so my teacher, I heard that when you do D, that you need to remove the 2 in front of the x squared. You need to remove the number in front of the x squared or the x to the third. Like you divide the number.
Oh, that's dangerous because you're going to be left with one solution. That's very dangerous. We usually don't do that if we have a 0 on the other side. Okay, Chantal, you must be careful of doing that. Because
Okay,
if you
then.
divide by 2, you're going to be left with one solution. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So be careful. Be very careful of doing that. If your teacher teaches you that, then okay. But for everyone else, I would say be very careful of dividing by 2. Because if you say 0 divided by anything, you're going to be left with 0. So you're basically getting rid of one of the solutions, and that will make you lose half your marks because this part will fall away. This whole part will fall away. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
there we go. Any other questions? Any other questions? Let's see in the chat what's going on. Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up. And okay. So I'm guessing we are doing sort of well so far. I'm going to go ahead and ask about E. Is E difference of two squares, trinomials, or common factors? Look at it carefully before you answer. So we've done A, B, this is D, and now we're doing E. Is E common factor, difference of two squares? Okay, I see people say common factor. Bunke says both common factor and difference of two squares. Okay, some people say common factor. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. If it's a common factor, remember we're solving for x, right, guys? If it's a common factor, what is our common factor in E? 4. Our common factor is 4, so what's left in the bracket is x squared minus 4 equals 0. What would you usually do in this case? When you get to the step, you have factorized it. Now what? Now what? Split. How are we going to split it? Is anybody seeing my trick yet? How are we going to split it? Oh, can you say it's difference of two squares? Open another 2 brackets. There you go. So it's going to be 4 times. What's my 2 brackets? Equals 0. What are my brackets? Anyone? X minus 4. No, it's not x minus 4. Remember, you are factorizing x squared minus 4. So what are my 2 brackets? There we go, x plus 2 and x minus 2. But here's the problem, guys. Usually we would split it when we got here, isn't it? We would then say that this factor equals 0, and this factor equals 0, and this factor equals 0. Is 4 equal to 0? Do you see the problem we are facing at this moment? Is 4 equal to 0? No. So now what? Which method should we have used? Which method should we have used? You can continue with your two brackets that do have variables, because either this bracket is 0 or that bracket is 0. So let's do that. So you're going to say either x minus 2 equals 0. Let me go to the side. I see what Amahle was saying about space. Either x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. So my point is, you cannot make constants separate factors. Okay, you cannot equate them to 0 because 4 is not equal to 0. But since we want to know what those variables are for the whole bracket to be 0, then you can make the whole bracket 0. There's my x minus 2, 0. Because if that's 0, the whole equation is 0, right? Which other factor can we make 0? X plus 2. So what are my two solutions for x? What are my two solutions for x? Difference of two squares. Stands for difference of two squares. Oh yeah, we can do that as well. Simone says we can divide by 4. But remember, Simone, I just now advise them against it because they would want to do it if there's an x there. And then the 0 solution falls away. Like if there's an x outside the bracket here, remember 0 divided by anything will be 0. So I just advise them against it.
Yes. I wanted to ask about that as well for D. If we divided the one that you've highlighted by 2, wouldn't after the division by 2, we'd still have x outside the bracket and then x minus 2 equals 0? And when we would split it, it would just be x equals to 0 and then x minus 2 equals to 0.
Oh, x minus, yeah. I get what you mean, yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, so you can divide, guys. We can divide if we want. So here, what Simone was saying here is we could divide by 4 to get rid of this 4. And then we'll just be left with x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. And as you guys said, then my one solution will be x equals 2 or x equals negative 2. Okay. If you started your first step with difference of two squares, that's also fine. You're going to have 2x minus 4 and 2x plus 4. And then you'll see you'll still get 2 and negative 2 because your 4 is going to go over and then you're going to divide by 2 on both sides, blah, blah, blah. Whichever method you use, as long as you're comfortable with it and you make sure you get to the correct answer. And you can check your answers through substitution. Okay. Now we are going to exponential equations. I know we didn't like these, but they are back. Okay. A. Who remembers how to do exponential equations? Let's hear. Oh, geez. Exponential equations. Anyone remember how to do exponential equations? See, Amtanda has told us the answer, and that is true. But how do you get it? How did you get it? What are my rules for exponential equation? Yes, our QA remembers. We want same bases. Okay, we want the same bases. So if we have a base of 2 on the difference between this and what we've been doing is this time our variable is in the exponent. Okay, We had our variable in the base previously, but now it's in the exponent. So if we have a base of 2 on the left, we want a base of 2 on the right. So how can I rewrite 8 as something with a base of 2? Who knows? 8 is the same as 2 to the power of what? That's what I'm asking. Thank you, Vose, Kazi, Amahle, all of you guys. So that is 3. So now that we have our same base, that is our step 1. What happens when we have our same base? What's our step 2? We've managed to make them the same base on both sides. Step 2 is what? Yes, Kazi. Okay, Nsugu, sorry, I didn't see that. Remember, there's a lot of you in the chat. Okay, there's about 81 of you in this list. So what happens besides Kazi? What happens when we have the same base? Help me add another step to this. We equate our exponents. Equate exponents. Okay. And Orodine says 4. So if we equate exponents or drop the bases, then x is equal to what? Yes, or bring down the exponents. Thanks, Tiro. Therefore, x is equal to, thanks, our Kiwe. Therefore, x is equal to 3. Okay. Equate the exponents, Karabo. The exponents are up there. X is equal to 1 that's up there, which is 3. Okay, I feel like A was pretty simple and straightforward. Let's do B. So you guys have helped me establish steps. So step 1, we want same bases. So here we already have 3 to the power of x equals. So 81 can be rewritten as, no, we're not dividing the bases by 2, Tando. We're just dropping the bases. Be careful, okay? We are not dividing them by 2. So 81 can be rewritten as 3 to the power of what? Let's hear what we have to say. Sia has already given me an answer. Thank you. Let's hear. Orodine, thank you. Amahle, Kazi, Karabono. 3 to the power of 3 is 27. Check again. There we go, guys. 81 can be rewritten as 3 to the power of 4. If you're allowed calculators in your exam, you can just go to your calculator. You press the number you want. In this case, it's 81. You press equals. You press shift, which is up there in the corner. Then you press the one that says fact. That's the one with the dot and the whatever, commas and whatever's going on there. I don't know what's going on there. If you do that, it's going to tell you that 81 is the same as 3 to the power of 4. Useful skill for the future. Okay, so now we have them at our same base. Therefore, we equate the exponents last step. Therefore, x is equal to 4. Before I go on, checking in, are we good with this? Do we understand how we are solving exponential equations? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, I see thumbs up. Thanks, Akunzi. If you have not understanding, raise your hand and ask a specific question so we can help you before it gets complicated. Amahle, raise your hand and ask the question. Or you can type it in the chat, whichever one. Tando, let's hear what Tando has to say. Yes, Tando.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
So, ma'am, I wanted to find out on the previous question, I said on the chat that we have to divide by 2. And then you said that we mustn't divide, but bring down or something. What is it? Yeah.
Yes, so we bring down the exponents. So Tando, the logic is if 2 to the power of something, we use an x because we don't know what that something is, right?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
2 to the power of something is the same as 2 to the power of 3, this equals is telling us they equal. Then that something has to be How much?
3, ma'am.
Do you see why? That's what I was saying. So we're not doing anything to the bases. What we're doing is we're basically telling a story. Like if 2 to the power of something that we don't know is the same as 2 to the power of 3, that means that something has to equal 3. The only way you're going to get 8 is if x is 3. Do you agree?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So we didn't do anything to the bases. We just made the equation, the exponents equal. That's all we did.
Okay, ma'am.
There we go. Amahle had the same question. Do you get it now? Amahle, are we with me? I hope that helped you as well. There we go. Okay, now let's go to C. Do not freak out because the exponents look different. Let's start with same base. We leave this 2 to the power of x plus 1 there equals. How do I rewrite 4? Remember, I want the same base on both sides. That means I want a base of 2 on both sides. So what am I going to write on the right-hand side? 4 is the same as? 4 is the same as? Not the answer. I have a specific question. Thank you, Neo. 4 is the same as 2 squared. Right? It's the same as 2 squared. Now we have our same bases. Therefore, exponent on the left, which is x plus 1, is equal to exponent on the right, which is 2. Then you solve for x. That's where everyone has got the answer of x equals 1, because you're going to take this plus 1, take it over, it's going to become negative. Now you have x equals 2 minus 1, therefore x equals 1. I don't know why my x's are so terrible. They look like C's. I don't know what they look like. Some sort of logo. Do we see, guys? So as long as you have the same basis, you take whatever is in the exponents and you make it equal. That's how it works. You just get the basis to be the same, then you equate the exponents. Now let's do another one. Let's hear what you have to say about D. Let's hear what we have to say about D. Hey, Sia is not going to get caught out. Sia, how did you know that? This is one of our laws of exponents. And Farida. So we want the same base. We're still following the same. Okay, 5x. Now, to get a 1 to have a base of 5, we're going to have to say 5 to the power of 0, because anything to the power of 0 is 1. Oh, I can't even catch you guys out. Hectic. Therefore, x equals 0. Oral Dean, remember to keep the chat lesson related. Okay, I'm going to need everyone to practice this trick over here with number E. I need you guys to tell me 729. What is 729 with the base of 3? So it's 729 on your calculator. You're going to say 729. Press equal, press shift, and press the button that has a fact on top. What does it say? Okay. Lugue has already given me the final answer, but I want to know 729 is 3 to the power of what? 3 to the power of 6. So I hope you guys have gotten the hang of that trick now. When you're in a test, then you'll be able to use it. Okay. So then 3 to the power of x minus 2 will be equal to 3 to the power of 6. Therefore, x minus 2 is equal to 6. If you take the 2 over, it becomes a positive. So now you have x is equal to 6 plus 2. And that's why x is equal to 8. I feel like this went much better. How are we feeling? Are we good? Are we good? Give me an indication if we are good. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Kanyo's like, aweza. Okay, much better. There we go. Tado, mobile. Let's see. I see you guys in the reactions. There we go. Kamukelo has a question. Yes, Kamukelo. Kamukelo. No. Okay. Molemo. Molemo's hand just went down. I know, yeah, it's supposed to hurt. That's why it's time for a break. Let's hear. Would you rather have super sensitive taste buds or super sensitive hearing? Oh, Simone, I'm gonna give this over to you. What would you rather have? Taste buds or hearing? Super sensitive taste buds or hearing? People are saying hearing. Guys, are you guys not light sleepers? If you have super sensitive hearing, you're gonna hear everything. Imagine. That is so hectic. Oh my goodness. He's just like, hearing will kill you. Imagine hearing like a loud bus going past, like, woo, Akumzi. Let's see what Akumzi would rather have.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
I'd rather have super sensitive taste buds.
Taste buds. Okay. So you want to be a picky eater.
How?
That's what it means. You're going to be a picky eater, isn't it? If your taste buds are sensitive, guys, you'll be the first person to know when there's too much salt. You'll be like, no, this is not good. Something is off. Imagine. Yo, second one, would you rather be an only child or have 10 siblings? Oh.
Miss Cat, can I just ask, did you hear my answer for the previous one?
No.
I was talking the whole time and I was muted. But anyways, I would rather have 10 siblings. I think being an only child would be so lonely sometimes.
I know. That's what I think. That's what I think as well. I only have one sibling and like I would like more.
Yeah, I have two and I love them. I'm never alone because I'm always with my siblings. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be an only child.
Look at Lugwe. It's like I'd rather be an only child. I can have 10 friends. Oh, oh my goodness. Guys are stressing me. I can't believe this. Let's hear. Okay, would you rather have a giant tongue or giant feet? I don't know where these come from, guys. I don't come up with these questions. They say it's like giant feet. How will you run when we are running away from dogs? Dwayne, let's hear what Dwayne would rather have.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I'd rather have big feet, ma'am.
Giant feet. Dwayne.
Yes, ma'am, because when the dog chases me, I kick him.
Yeah. So you're not worried about running. You'll just kick it. Okay.
Where are you guys gonna buy shoes from with your giant feet?
I was about to say, imagine me as a lady wearing size 20 heels. I don't think so.
No ways.
I don't see this happening, honestly. I can't. Izo says taste the dog. Guys, you guys are a lot, actually. I'm actually defeated. I'm done. And I was like 3 to the power of 4. Boom. Last one. Would you rather have breakfast in bed or a midnight snack? Personally, I hate waking up. Okay. So I prefer midnight snack because waking up is an issue in my life. I would rather have a midnight snack, guys. I'll stay up the whole night, but waking up is a big issue. I see everyone saying midnight snack. Huh. Does anyone who said breakfast? They said he said breakfast in bed. Oh, nah. I'd rather have midnight snack. I can't wake up for anything. Like I can't. I'm not reliable with waking up.
Same, especially now in winter. It's like 20 times harder waking up in winter.
Yep. I can't. Yeah. I always promise people we're going out for breakfast. And then in the morning, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sleep. So yeah, rather midnight snack. Okay, let's do 1 or 2 ones that will push you guys a little bit. Don't hate me. I have mixed them. Okay, so we're going to do, I want us to do number A and number E. Let's hear what we got. We're going to do number A and number E. Eating after 9 makes you gain weight. Bushali, negativity, please. Please, it makes you gain happiness, okay? Okay, let's do A and E, guys. Thank you, Noah is on the ball. A is a trinomial. That means we need 2 brackets. What are my 2 brackets? What are my 2 brackets? Equals 0. What are my 2 brackets? Remember, wherever you place your factors, they have to add up to 7. So that's a little bit tricky. Okay, let's hear. Do we remember how to do this? Okay, let's do the cross method. The factors of 2x squared are 2x and x, and 3 only has 2 factors, which are what? 3 and 1. Now let's put them in the correct brackets. Yes, 0 is showing us that it's an equation. There wasn't a 0 there, then that means you wouldn't be able to solve for x. It would just be an expression, okay? So let's see, guys. If we cross multiply these, we're gonna have 3 times x, which is 3x, plus 2 times 1, which is 2x. That will give us 5x, and that's not what we want. We want 7x. Do we see that? So that means my factors are in the wrong order, because 3x only has 1 factor, 2 factors, 1 factor. Yee. So then it means your 3 has to be there and your 1 has to be there, because when you cross multiply, let's see what's going to happen. It's going to happen, you're going to have 1 times x, which is x, plus 2 times 3, which is 6, and that is 7x. That means my 2 brackets are 2x plus 1 and x plus 3. Is there anyone who got those 2 brackets before I did? Let's see. Anyone who got those 2 brackets before I did? Nope. Yes, Bunta says yes. And now, guys, now we just do the regular. We split them. 2x plus 1 equals 0. Or x plus 3 equals 0. So 2x is negative 1, or x is negative 3. And here you divide by 2 on both sides. Therefore, x is equal to negative a half, or x is equal to negative 3. That would be A. Let's do E. Has anyone figured out E yet? That dot means times, by the way. Okay, it's not 2 comma 3. It's 2 times 3 to the power of x. Has anyone figured it out yet? Let's hear. Karabo, what did you do here? Karabo, no one? Anyone else? What would you do in this case? You cannot put 18 as something to the base of 3, right? And we don't want that 2. This 2 in front here is a problem. So how do you get rid of that 2? How do we get rid of that 2 that's in front? Anyone? We divide, guys. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. Remember, you have to get this x on its own. You want this x to be on its own. So you get rid of everything around it. And this 2 is a problem, right? So if you divide by 2 on both sides, what's going to happen is this 2 and this 2 are going to divide away. So you're going to have 3 to the power of x is equal to 9. Now that looks more like what we've been doing. That looks much more like what we've been doing. Therefore, x is equal to how much? I saw someone put an answer. Let's see if it's correct. Yes, Buntle has the answer. Okay, because it'll be 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 squared. Therefore, x is 2, and that concludes our lesson.